Lynn Ramsey has never shied away from lifting up the figurative big heavy stones of cultural taboos to reveal the bugs crawling underneath the side of humanity that is mostly discussed on a binary scale of good and bad in media, online discourse, and increasingly also in personal conversation. In Die My Love, which is an adaptation of Ariana Harvitz's novel of the same name that I have yet to read, but I got it right here, we got a woman who is living in a remote rural area and is driven to the brink of insanity by marriage and motherhood. I think it's quite rare that an official synopsis actually describes what the core of a film is going to be and feel like. Maybe that speaks to the film's benefit, a focus on a seemingly simple premise that will present itself in an intentionally messy way through its jumpy and erratic characters and the incredibly committed soundscape it creates to transport us into the mental state of Jennifer Lawrence's Grace. To me, McGarvey's cinematography was a standout. I adored the choices that were made to lock off certain shots pretty wide, especially in the opening scene and the way that the story from that moment on progressed to become less and less palpable as it's basically overwhelming you at every turn. As far as the characters go, the story has Jennifer Lawrence at the front and center of it all. Then there's Robert Pattinson, who has impressed me with every role he's taken, and this film is definitely no exception. In a way, he's similar to us from the outside looking in on what's going on with Grace while not being able to provide her what she needs, as the struggle is internal and in a way also eternal, that it felt like to me not even her pain fully belonged to her alone. Die My Love is definitely a film that will undoubtedly enrich itself with each watch for me. To me, at its core, this film isn't simply about post-marital depression, but more about a woman who was lacking something before she gave birth, got pregnant, or even got together with Pattinson's Jackson. Like I said, it's an internal struggle with the self that gets boiled up and depicted in hyperbole in this film. The constant unnerving sound of a fly that sort of buzzes into the back of your mind halfway through the film, and you sort of just kind of get used to it. It serves as a perfect borderline diegetic auditory allegory for all the little things you learn to accept even though they bother you, leaving you with no other option than to tear it all down before you'd inevitably self-implode. Grace desperately looks for an escape out of this constant noise by returning to that primal drive of sexual desire that comes off as playful at first, but reveals itself to me as an exit route to force yourself to turn off the doom and thoughts of your own depression. I could be completely off of this though, of how this was supposed to be interpreted by Lynn Ramsey or how Jennifer Lawrence played it, but I think that makes it all the more interesting to talk about. But there were a couple of things that did not add up for me. Basically, Lakeith Stanfield's character as a whole remains a mystery to me to this day. I'm looking forward to some people having a bit of a clearer interpretation on that one. I'm looking forward to your comments below. But Die My Love remains a puzzle to me overall in both good and bad ways, but its moments far exceeds the banality of a sort of binary scale. It's a must watch for those familiar with the director's previous work, and maybe a bit more than a gamble for fans of Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence. It's worth a look regardless, and I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. I have the novel with me here. Unfortunately, my Spanish isn't good enough to read the original version that was from an Argentinian author in Spanish, but I hope to upload an updated review once I've read through this thing. It's actually pretty short. It's only 120 pages long, so it should be a quick read, and fortunately enough, Mubi picked this one up out of Gone for 24 million and set some release dates in European markets, including Switzerland. So hopefully we are getting a worldwide distribution for this one. Mubi has some confidence in this film. This was actually the biggest acquisition ever. Anyways, let me know what you think of it once you've seen it, and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see you soon.